You ever find something you were never supposed to see? Not like oops, I saw my coworker's paycheck kind of thing. I mean really seeing what people think of you when they believe you'll never know. 2 weeks ago, that happened to me. A single accidental notification opened a door I can never close again. And when I tell you what my family had been saying for 7 years, you might understand why no one will ever forget my grandma's birthday party. It started on a Thursday night, about 10:45. I was curled up on my couch, glass of wine, half watching some baking show, half wearing patient charts from work. Blink! Notification. Megan Harper added you to Real Family Only. I laughed, confused. Real Family Only? What kind of name was that for a group chat? I thought maybe it was a joke or a new party planning thread for Grandma's 70th coming up. I clicked it. My phone lagged from how many unread messages there were, 847. At first, I was nosy in that innocent way. Like, oh, maybe there are family recipes in here, or holiday photos. Then my stomach started crawling up my throat. Because the very first message 7 years earlier read, "Finally, we can talk without CC seeing." And my aunt replied, "Charity case free zone." CC, short for charity case. That was me. You know when your blood runs cold but you're still weirdly calm. I kept scrolling, message after message. 7 whole years. To understand why this hit, I need to rewind 6 weeks. Grandma Eleanor had called me at 7 a.m. which, trust me, that woman doesn't call before coffee unless it's urgent. "Sweetheart, I'm having a birthday party. My 70th. I want you there." My chest tightened not from dread, but shock. Because Grandma always invited people through the family chat. The same family chat I'd quietly assumed I'd somehow been left out of years ago. Of course, I told her, and I meant it, because Grandma is the heartbeat of my life. Every cardiology appointment, every grocery run, every Sunday where I scrubbed her counters while she napped, I've been there. My mom? My sister Megan? They'd swing by once in a blue moon and still get the best granddaughter ever caption on Instagram. You know the type, filtered selfies of them holding Grandma's hand, hearts and halos, comments like family first. I'd roll my eyes, say nothing. What was the point? 3 days before the party, I phoned my mom to ask, "Is there a theme? What should I wear?" "Oh, just casual, honey. Jeans are fine. Cool, easy." Except later that day, when I dropped off Grandma's prescriptions at Mom's house, her phone pinged on the counter. Message preview from Megan. "Remember, cocktail attire. Photographers arrive at 4. Cocktail attire." My mother had looked me straight in the eye and said, "Jeans are fine." You ever feel that cold wave that tells you the truth you already suspected? Yeah, that. Still, I wanted to believe maybe she'd just forgotten. But my gut whispered something meaner. That night I actually called Megan, something we hadn't done in months. She answered all chirpy. "Oh, Grandma invited you too?" "Two, as in you weren't supposed to be on that list." Then, not 20 minutes later, she sent a random voice note. I pressed play and froze. Because she wasn't talking to me. Oh my God. She laughed to someone. She's acting like we're besties. Grandma's obsessed with her, it's honestly pathetic. Then another text, "Oops, wrong person. Ignore. Lol. 7 little words. Don't mind it. Just a silly mistake." Right. Sure. That night, I didn't sleep. For context, I'm 32. ICU nurse. Divorced. My whole identity revolves around helping people who actually want to live. And ironically, the people who made me feel most unwanted were my own blood. So there I was, in my tiny apartment, lights off except my phone's glow. That notification dangling at the top of the screen. Real Family Only. I opened it. Oldest message. 7 years ago. Newest. 2 days prior. 8 family members. Mom, Megan, Aunt Linda, the Ohio twins, 3 cousins. Everyone except Grandma. Everyone except me. I started reading. At first, small talk. Then the jokes. The bets. When I lost my first nursing position from hospital budget cuts, Aunt Linda knew she wouldn't last. Megan. Give it 3 months before she's back asking Mom for help. Mom. She won't. Too proud. That's her problem. I kept scrolling. When I got engaged. Megan. Starting a divorce pool. My mother. put me down for years. They literally wagered money on when my marriage would crash. And when it actually did, I stopped breathing. Because there they all were, congratulating Aunt Linda for guessing closest. My mother had texted, "At least she doesn't have kids. One less grandchild to worry about." You ever cry so hard you go quiet? No hiccups, no sound. Just tears falling like reflex. That was me. But somewhere inside that collapse, something else woke up. Not anger exactly, clarity. I didn't just lose my family. I finally saw who they were. By AM I'd screenshotted every single message. 847 images, each labeled like a case file. Clinical almost. Like documenting a patient's history, except this time I was the patient, the diagnosis. Neglected by blood. And tucked between all that filth was one more conversation from 6 months ago. Megan, Grandma's gotten weird with a notebook. Aunt Linda, a notebook. Megan, yeah. She writes people's names, like she's keeping score. Saw Kira's name a bunch. Mom, she's 70. Probably tracking pills. My veins went still, because Grandma had told me once I keep track, love. Always. It hit me. She meant literally. That morning, without thinking, I texted the group. Thanks for the receipts, Kara. Then I left the chat. Within seconds, no exaggeration, my phone detonated with calls. Megan, Kara, please. I swear adding you was an accident. Mom, honey, you're taking this out of context. Families vent. Aunt Linda, you're blowing this way out of proportion. Translation. We got caught. At 4:30 a.m., after 60 plus messages of excuses, I turned my phone off, pulled the blanket over my head, and for the first time in years slept. Like actually slept. Because the pretending was over. 3 days before the party, knock on my door. Megan, eyes red, posture rehearsed. Please, can we talk? Sure. She sat on the couch like she thought compassion might be contagious. It got out of control, she said. We never meant you bet on my divorce. Her mascara blinked. That was Aunt Linda's idea. And you joined. She didn't have a comeback. Then came the real motive. You can't tell Grandma. You'll break her heart. I almost laughed. Funny you didn't worry about her heart when you called her granddaughter a charity case. Her mask cracked. That influencer tone flattening. Well, maybe if you weren't always playing victim and maybe if you weren't always playing villain. I snapped. Balanced, isn't it? She left pretty fast. The day arrived bright blue, deceptively peaceful. Grandma's backyard looked like a wedding reception, white tents, fairy lights, some local photographer orchestrating poses. I walked in wearing a navy cocktail dress that hugged dignity more than curves. The moment Mum saw me, color drained from her face. Aunt Linda looked ready to faint straight into her Pinot Grigio. Kara, you made it! Mum's voice an octave too high. Grandma personally invited me. For 2 hours, I was invisible. Servers skipped my side of the patio like I was a ghost. When neighbors asked who I was, Megan chirped, "Oh, she's just a cousin, just a cousin." Cute. During photos, Mum whispered, "Sweetheart, could you stand behind Megan? The lighting's better up front." Sure, lighting. Then Grandma's voice sliced through the noise. Kara, darling, come sit beside me. My mother winced. Megan's jaw tightened. Grandma leaned close. Stay till the end, she murmured. There's something I need everyone to hear. Megan, of course, took the mic first. 5 minutes of pure performance art. I just love my grandma so much, she sniffled. She's my rock. My best friend. Applause. Cameras flashing. I rolled my eyes so hard they nearly clattered on the lawn. A distant cousin nudged me. Aren't you gonna say something? Before I could answer, Megan swooped in, stage whispering, "Oh, she's too modest. She's been busy saving lives at the hospital." Polite chuckles. Mum nodded like yes. That's the official narrative now. I took a sip of lemonade to swallow the electricity rising in my throat. If Grandma hadn't given me that look, wait, it would have come out right then. As the sun dipped, Grandma stood, tapped her glass. Before we end tonight, I have a few words about family. The crowd quieted instantly. She smiled softly. What it truly means to be there for someone. Megan drew herself up, expecting more spotlight. I want to thank the person who's been beside me through every appointment, Every sleepless night of worry. My granddaughter Kara. A collective shift, people turning, blinking, whispering. I froze halfway between pride and disbelief. Then Grandma, God bless her strategic little heart, pulled out that brown leather notebook. I've been writing things down for years, she said. Every visit, every call, every excuse. She started reading dates. March 2019, Kier drove me 2 hours to the specialist. Megan was at the spa. January 2022, Kier stayed up all night when I fell on the stairs. Diane promised to come the next day. She didn't. Megan went chalk white. Mum looked like she wanted the earth itself to eat her. And then Grandma said the line that branded itself into everyone's memory. When my granddaughter's marriage ended, I called her every day because her own mother never did. Dead. Silence. And before anyone could recover, a voice I didn't expect, Uncle Robert, Aunt Linda's husband, stood. Eleanor isn't exaggerating, he said. 6 months ago I saw inside that so-called family chat. Showed her everything. Collective gasp. Even birds stopped singing. Grandma straightened her shoulders. So yes, I know exactly what's been said. Charity case, bets, celebrations of pain. I read it all. Mum burst into tears, babbling. It was a joke. Do you joke about your own daughter's heartbreak? Grandma shot back. Her voice could have sliced granite. Grandma reached into her cardigan pocket again and unfolded a document. I had my lawyer Robert update this will 3 months ago. Megan stammered. Grandma, you can't. I can, dear. I'm 70, not senile. She read out loud. My home shall go to my granddaughter Kara, who has kept it alive with her time and devotion. Murmurs rolled through the crowd. As for the rest, it will be shared evenly among the rest of my descendants. Balance, not vengeance. You could almost hear Megan's influencer life crumble in real time. Aunt Linda mouthed something unprintable at Robert. And then came the final sentence, slow and deliberate. Family isn't blood. It's who shows up. Applause didn't fit that moment. Only silence did. And in that silence, Grandma turned to me. Would you like to say something, love? I took a breath. I'm not here to attack anyone, I began. Just to state facts. For 7 years, some of you called me names behind a screen while smiling to my face. You bet on my failures. I'm not even angry anymore. I'm done. Mum whispered. Kara, please. I shook my head. You decided long ago that I wasn't part of your real family. I'm just accepting it. My voice didn't shake. For the first time, it didn't have to. The party dissolved fast after that. Guests mumbled excuses. Plates half nish-nished. People avoided eye contact with the real family. Only crew like guilt was contagious. Grandma leaned on my arm as we walked inside. You all right? She asked. I think so. She smiled, the proud kind that says finally. Then it's been a good birthday. Oh. And the universe has a sense of humor. Someone at the party decided to share what happened online. All caps headline. Family exposed after group chat revealed at 70th birthday. Within days, Megan's followers dropped thousands. Comment sections flooded with I hope this isn't true. She turned private, then disappeared. Karma doesn't always come with thunder. Sometimes it's just public accountability. A week later, Robert asked me to meet for coffee. He looked exhausted. Marriage over. Career slightly scorched. I should have spoken years ago, he said. But seeing how they talked about you, I couldn't keep quiet. Turns out even decent people can hide in comfort until the cost of silence gets too high. Cousin Amy, yeah. The one who laughed at my divorce, texted an apology. Said she'd got swept up in the pack mentality. I didn't know what to say, so I just said, thanks. Sometimes that's enough. 3 weeks later, Mum showed up at my door holding an old photo album. No armor this time. Hair unbrushed. Eyes raw. Can I come in? She sat down, open to pictures of me. First day of preschool. Missing tooth smile. I loved you so much, she whispered. I just hated the reminder of my failed marriage. When I started over, I thought I could pretend that part of my life didn't happen. It wasn't an excuse. But it was finally the truth. That wasn't my fault, I said quietly. I know. We sat in years of silence without speaking. Eventually, I told her we needed a break 3 months before any kind of contact again. She looked startled but agreed. At the door she said, I'm so sorry. Then prove it, I said. Megan attempted her own redemption tour. Lavish flowers, DMs, then a handwritten letter 6 pages long, half confession, half therapy dump. She wrote about jealousy, about feeling invisible next to how close Grandma and I were, about starting that chat because she wanted somewhere she mattered more. I know I can't undo 7 years, she finished, but I get it now. I was cruel because I was scared. I wrote back 1 page. I understand your reasons, but reasons aren't excuses. I don't hate you. I just don't want a relationship. Not anymore. Mailed it. Done. Closure isn't always warm. Sometimes it's just quiet. I'm sitting right now in Grandma's living room, well, technically our living room now. She insists I stay until, quote, I finally kick the bucket. That woman's humor is undefeated. She's outside in the garden as I record this, writing in that same notebook, still keeping track, still sharp as ever. Mom and I speak again, but slow, careful, little steps. Aunt Linda divorced. Megan's back online preaching self-growth. Maybe sincere, maybe not. Doesn't matter. Me? Still overworked, still single, still occasionally eating dinner over the sink, haha. But the difference? There's no knot in my chest anymore. No waiting to be accepted by people who already rejected me. Yesterday, Grandma said something while we watched the sunset. You know the best thing about getting old? You quit caring what people think. You just live. I laughed, working on that part. She jotted something down. What are you writing now? Today's entry. She smiled. Kara visited. She's finally free. And for once, I believed her. You might be hearing this thinking, my God, that's too much drama to be real. But I promise sometimes the quiet families hide the loudest cruelty. And if you've ever felt like the outsider in your own home, if you've ever sensed people smiling to your face while mocking your back, please remember this. You are not too sensitive. You are not imagining it. And you do not have to keep proving your worth to those determined not to see it. Boundaries aren't walls or doors only you can open. So if this story struck a chord, share it with someone who needs to know they can step away and still be whole. And if you never want to miss another story like this, hit subscribe to Revenge Diary. Because trust me, sometimes the sweetest revenge isn't payback. It's peace. Thanks for spending this hour with me. Now go live your life in the light and keep your own receipts.